Okay, I just finished my latest session here of the water transformation river thingy. I'm kind of tired, as you guys can tell, but I want to quickly come on really quick just to show you guys something that I noticed when building this. So in the last episode, I showed you guys that I started working on this area over here. I think I've done a little bit more since I showed you guys this last. However, the big thing that I've been working on is actually on this side of the river over here. So I'm temporarily going to take a break from this side over here, only because I do want to get this entire little river section here done. That way, whenever we build things over here, and if we decide to build things here, we will still have this part finished. But something hit me. If we quickly fly to a little bit of an elevated point, let's go to this tree. Yeah, sure. If you actually pay attention to it, yeah, it looks a lot cleaner and not like simpler. So that's one good thing. But for me, it actually makes the build look a lot better. And the reason for that is because it's not as chaotic as the random areas over here. So if we quickly go to the opposite side, which we do have to take with a little bit of a grain of salt because we don't have as much build. Like on this side, we have a fully built town, and then the area over here. This one we have a half-built town, which we'll get to today. But look at how much like more chaotic this area is in comparison to that one over there. Let me know in the comments if I'm just being delusional, but I really think that the all mud water over here is actually really helping the normal build look a lot better. Again, this one is a little bit distracting there, this little thing that I have there. That's for the conduit in the heart of the sea. That way I can actually, like see underwater and breathe underwater permanently. But when that goes, I think everything will just look so much better. However, I need a break, and I've been really excited to actually work on the second part of the town that we started in the last episode, or a previous episode, I should say. Now, the plans for this town is going to be a little bit different. Now, usually when I start building a town like we did in the previous video where we built this town, I started off by building the actual building first, then doing all the details on the side, and then doing the details on the side over here with the like the leaves and whatnot. We're going to try flipping that today. Now, I want to start off this video in this area by actually building a little bit of like an arch gateway right here with a path coming here down throughout the entire village over here. And the reason why I want to start off with that is because I do eventually want to connect everything with paths. So what I'm thinking of doing, honestly, is eventually we might have a giant path going all the way through the side of the mountain over there, connecting this one to the main one over here. So if we can start designing the path to kind of go in this general direction, that would be great to start off today. But then with that, once we have the path done in here, we have the rest of the area to work with, and we can kind of build as we please. So I'm very, very excited for that. So let's quickly get started by building the gateway thing right here. Alrighty, so I think that I want the actual gate to go kind of around here. So I think we'll do one set there and then another one there. I don't think we're gonna do an entire path like that. The path is not gonna be this wide, but I think it could be quite nice unless we bring it closer. Unless we do, I actually have an idea of what we could do. If we do like a section here, and so that's 4. Now that's more like a 4 path. And then what I'm thinking we do is we kind of have this go up around like this, and then we have these two kind of staying in the middle. So something like that isn't too bad, I don't think. And then that could continue over down, or maybe from, I don't know, maybe there we could go up one more layer and then down. I don't know yet. Okay, so this is what we have so far for a gate. It's not too bad. Now, the idea, I think, is that we might just do like kind of like a fence kind of going, connecting to like maybe like another like, mini thing right here, maybe. I don't know. Although if we did make the fence go to like maybe 3 blocks high, we could actually kind of do that, where if we just go here, maybe we'll do like a 4 high fence, and then that way the only way you can get in is from right there. Okay, that's not actually bad. Now, I feel like something definitely needs to go on the top, and I'm not entirely sure what. Now, what I think could be kind of cool is if we take the exact middle, which would be right here. So this is going to be a bit interesting, but if we just made a giant kind of cobblestone cube here, I might have said cobblestone, but I meant cobble deep slate. But if we do something like that there, then what we could do is kind of make it look like this is kind of wrapping around it, maybe. So maybe we do something kind of like this. See, now that just looks a little bit weird, because I wanted to make it seem like it's holding like a giant cobble deep slate, because it's kind of like the mining area and whatnot. I don't know if I love that though. All right, so this is what I came up with so far. I'm not loving what we did for the top. I want to do this entire town, by the way. I want to introduce some of the tough bricks as well. Now, if you remember in the actual last episode where we worked on the Enderman farm, I used the kind of same combination that I want to go for here with the stripped mangrove, some tough bricks, and then the deep deep slate tiles. I really enjoyed that, and I want to try and make it into a town design. However, that is just not it for there. So what I think we're going to do is, for now, I think we're going to decorate the side. So I think we're going to get some of the things in here, like the actual fences. So what I'm kind of thinking we should do is I would like to maybe make the ground actual normal tough. And I want to do a layer here of the tough brick walls. And then I want to maybe go into the normal mangrove fences. I think I'm okay with that. And then what if we did actually a double layer here, and then we did a double layer or another layer here of the tough bricks like so, and then that way we get this cool kind of look here. I don't actually mind that, but like I said, I want to get some of the deep slate tiles in here. So let's quickly turn some of these into the tile walls. I want to see if we can maybe sprinkle some around in here maybe. Honestly, it's not that bad. Okay, what if we added that there? I actually think that makes it look a little bit better. Again, all of these that we did over here, we don't even need to worry about. Honestly, I might just quickly get rid of this. So I actually had a thought. Now, I don't actually love how tall this is because it kind of makes it feel like it's a little bit, I don't know, almost looks like it's a prison entrance, like an old school prison entrance, which I don't love. So we want this to kind of feel like it's a protective, you know, fence to keep out like maybe the monsters here. So what I think we should do is from right here, what if we chopped it up? So like we got rid of this section here, and then what if right here, instead of going up like we have been over here, what if we just did, I don't have any more of those oddly enough, so that's weird. So what if we replace these with those there? That's not bad. And then we made these logs come out, and then that way that's just the top there. I actually kind of do not mind that. Yeah, that's actually kind of nice. And I think I also want to make it look a little bit less boxy. So instead of starting there, yeah, I actually like the way that looks a lot more, I think. Alrighty, that looks a lot more like a fence than it does a prison gate, which I think is, wow, I really am glad that, I didn't think that that's had to be something that we had to worry about. But hey, you know what? We always have to worry about something. So I will gladly take that. And then I'm enjoying having those there. I just think that looks a lot better. Now, what I think I want to try doing for this wall here is, instead of doing what we did over here, what if we tried switching it? So instead, oh, because then that creates a thing there. I don't love that. Okay, because I was going to try switching it where instead of having the fences kind of go like this, it kind of switched instead. Although we could maybe still do that if we do on the edges here, right? Like if we just did kind of like an interesting kind of thing here, something like that, we could, oh no, we still have the same issue. Okay, that's a little bit unfortunate, but I kind of want to maybe use, I don't know if I want to put that there. I like the idea of having this here, so I think we're going to try it. I kind of just like how it's a little bit different from that. Yeah, I do overall like that quite a lot. Okay, I actually like this quite a lot as well. And then that way we can have a nice little path, a 3-wide path still here. And then we still have space on the side over here as well, which is actually the next thing that I want to work on. I want to quickly work on that path that I was talking about earlier. So we're going to kind of make it go this way. And then what I think we're going to do is we'll probably just eventually have it kind of fade out. So it kind of just starts to slowly, you know, kind of trickle into nothingness. So as you can see, it's kind of like a big path. It gets a little bit wider, but then it slowly starts to get smaller, and then yeah, it kind of leads here. Just for now, eventually we will connect it to over there, but I do overall like this. Now, is that enough? Because honestly, I feel like we're missing something on the top up here. I don't love how there's no deep slate on the top up here, but that being said, I don't know if that's bad or not. Like maybe we can do something where we go like a back stair here, and then maybe a mangrove trapdoor there, and then have this lead into some slabs. And then maybe here we go to something like this, just a small little pattern here where we do stairs, backward stairs, and then just have this connect to here. That way there's just a little bit of texturing on the top up there. Now, honestly, I'm not loving how empty the wall feels. So maybe we can try putting in buttons everywhere. Maybe we don't do buttons everywhere. Maybe we do it kind of strategically. So maybe here we then go to a line of trapdoors, and then maybe we do trapdoors down here, and then buttons can go on each side here. That way there's just a little bit of differential. I don't mind that actually. And then what if we put buttons on the top up there? Or maybe we don't do that actually, because maybe on the sides over here we can do kind of something interesting where maybe we go every 3, maybe, or I guess we should do every 4, I guess. So if we go every 4, and if I can just place this one right, maybe what we do is then go to here, or actually I think to make this look just slightly better, we'll do something kind of like this potentially. So then we have a little bit of thing here. We go to a slab or 2 slabs with lanterns on them. Okay, that's not bad actually. I am really liking that. Now, what if we did something a little bit differently maybe? So maybe we get a little bit of, we'll turn these actually. We'll get a little bit of some planks here. And then maybe instead of going directly to the lanterns, maybe we go blocks here, replace these, and then maybe from here we go lantern here. Just that way it looks a little bit more like nicer, I guess. Okay, I actually kind of like that. And then maybe for a little bit more detail, we can put trapdoors on there. I do like that. Honestly, maybe my issue is we get rid of this thing here. Like maybe we replace this little section here, and maybe we do a stair, nope, a stair facing down like this, and then maybe go into something kind of like this as well. And then we can put, I actually kind of like the idea of having the wood kind of come out like that. And then we could go there, and then maybe from here we can go into a lantern potentially, kind of like that. Ooh, I actually don't mind that. And then what if we just took this all the way down instead of having these here? Maybe we just replace this entire section here actually with stairs, because that could actually be kind of cool. And then from a back, okay, that looks a lot nicer. So now that we found a design that we actually like, what I'm going to quickly go ahead and do is just log in and repeat everything that we did on this side on the other side. And there is the completed fence. I think it just looks really good, honestly. It's very simple, but I really do like it. And I think it does a very good job at being a little gate for the town over here. I did also add a little bit of a path going over here, connecting us to the main first part of the village down here. Now, the reason for that is this is kind of like the path that you would use to get all of the deep slate and stuff up to this town up here. So because this path does lead all the way down to the mine area over here, which is again kind of like the main focus of this town. Now, before we get into any building, I actually want to kind of plan out the buildings. Now, in the last episode we did this with the normal deep slate, but we're gonna instead do it with some cobblestone here. Now, what I know for sure that I want is I want some kind of building coming along this way. I like the idea of having like one house kind of coming in over here. I keep saying building, but this is supposed to be a house, and yeah, I kind of like the idea of what we are going to as well, by the way, like kind of square it out. But I like the idea of having like a house kind of coming in, like the entrance is here, but you also have part of the house here. I don't know why, I just really like that. And then I think we can do a small kind of house right here. Yeah, this is a good size house here, I think. And then maybe for this area here, maybe we do it slightly differently, where maybe we have kind of two kind of rectangular houses instead. So maybe we do something kind of like this, and then it kind of comes back around. I think we can have one here and then a smaller one kind of going right here maybe. And then yeah, I think something like that. Now, because I'm starting to stream a lot more, which again, this is my time to recommend you guys to subscribe to the channel and also leave a like if you guys want to support me. It is the best way to do so. But because we now are doing live streams on this world, I really like that I can now kind of build more houses here and then save the decorating for the live streams. I'm not gonna lie, decorating isn't always something that I really want to do, and I feel like just saving it for the live streams can also include you guys, because I'm also not the best at it, so I get to learn a little bit with you guys. But I feel like you guys also get to see me build more, which is kind of like the main purpose of this channel. So that's why I'm very, very excited. So far we have 4 houses here, and then we have 1 giant plot here. Now I think we're going to kind of separate the houses, kind of like what we've been doing. And unlike this one where we have kind of like a natural path here, kind of dividing these 2 sections, we have to do it ourselves. Now, one thing that I'm not really too sure of is how are we going to do it for this section here, because this one is a lot bigger as well. As you can see, we have a lot more space here than here. So if we like kind of go all the way back, then it's going to be a really long house. And honestly, I kind of want all of these to be similarly like designed, unless we do like a house kind of over here maybe, right? We can do one here, and then maybe we do a small one over here or something like that, right? And then maybe we just have a path going this way right here, so we can actually just create more paths. I actually like that. So then we can kind of just have this one go here, which I am okay with making this one be a little bit more straight. Yeah, because these are just kind of served to just get to these areas over here. So I do overall like this. And then we can put something at the end over here, like maybe some decorations over, or like a tree or something. And then I think we're going to do the same thing kind of like what we did over here. So 2 small houses over here. And then maybe for the next section here, we only leave a 1 block gap. So like the back of the houses kind of go here, and then that way we can do one more path coming from the end over here going towards the other houses over here, and that way it looks like these houses are very close together. Although it'll be very difficult to fit a small house here, so we might actually have to cut this house slightly down. So maybe like a small house here, and then maybe a really small one here. I think that can work. And then we have a small little section here where, again, we can kind of just put up trees and whatnot. But if we look at it from free cam, this is how many houses we would have to build. I think, if I can remember correctly, this is the most amount of buildings we've had to build ever in one episode. So this will definitely be very interesting. If this video comes out edited really weird, by the way, I tried my best and I don't know how I'm going to film it. I might end up going the complete wrong direction, but I am trying to do a little bit more with my videos. Hopefully it's not going to be too much longer than my normal videos. So I actually kind of like the idea of making this path come to the side over here, and then maybe the entrances to the houses are right here and here, right? I don't know why I like that so much, but I kind of feel like it's kind of interesting. Okay, so this is what we are going to be building. I'm very excited. Let me quickly go ahead and get all of my materials straightened out, and hopefully we can get building very soon. So with my materials at hand, it's time to start working on the town. Now, what I think I want to start off by doing is I might quickly get some base design for these two here, and then we'll move on to these sections here. We're kind of just going to break it down into small sections, I think. Alrighty, so this is what I have so far. So I haven't done the roofs yet. I don't think I'm going to do the roofs just yet. I don't think, unless maybe we do the roofs before, and then maybe we'll like complete each house as we go. But roofs require a lot of the stairs and the slabs, which I don't really want to have in my inventory right now. But as far as the actual design of this, I actually think it's not that bad. Now, what I would like to do is kind of like what we did in the last build over here, kind of do some of the these mangrove fences, I forgot the name for a second, on the side of the pillars over here. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. We might be able to squeeze them by, but I think it'll be quite nice. Now, if you had a close eye, you might have actually noticed that we did have to quickly fix this little area here because we only had one block between this and the wall, which I didn't mind in the beginning, but when it comes to like actually making like the roof, for example, it'll just be too close to that area there. So I'm not the biggest fan of it. So this is kind of the idea that I want to go with, the kind of deep slate and the deep slate tiles and the tough bricks. I really enjoy it. I didn't think I was gonna like it because it's two kind of completely different textures. I was gonna actually try swapping these out for the deep slate bricks, but I actually kind of like it. I don't know why. It just kind of fits in for me. Now, the last thing that I want to check really quick in free cam is actually I want to see if this feels like it could be part of the same village, because we do have two different kind of walls here for the top and the bottom part. I don't know if they could be very similar, but honestly, yeah, I could see them being part of the same village. So I think I've decided for the roofs, I'm not actually going to be doing them. I'm going to save that till the end. I'm going to do honestly kind of what I did over here, where we are going to kind of have red lines going in between some of them. And then we're going to use the tough brick stairs and the tough, I don't actually, do the deep slate tiles actually even have stairs? I don't even know. Yes, they do. Okay, brilliant. So we're going to use some of these stairs here with the tough brick stairs and some of the mangrove stairs, kind of like how we did for the trend down here at this part of the village. So we're going to kind of just keep this going here, except obviously we're going to use the blocks up here. And I'm just going to do it all at once. I don't really want to do it all. I might maybe do a time lapse. I don't know. Maybe this is the first time you guys will see a time lapse. But yeah, I kind of just don't really want to worry about the roofs with this one. I want to make a really interesting design, and I want to focus on the actual areas as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start working on the second plot here. And there are the second two. Now we have one entire side completed, although that is only 4 out of the 10 total houses. But I'm actually really starting to like the kind of noisy chaoticness of this area. One thing that I'm very curious about actually is I wonder what this entire area so far looks like from afar, because obviously I still kind of mainly live over there. So I'm very curious what it looks like from the side over here. And okay, I actually don't mind that, yeah. Again, it looks a little bit weird without the roofs, but that again will be fixed shortly. I think it's also just missing some things. Like I want to put more birch trees into some more like life around as well. That's definitely something that I would like to do on this top area, and we're going to do as well. But I really think it just feels more lively already. Okay, maybe not already because we still have to build everything here, but like it feels like it will be more lively now that we have more buildings and whatnot. Maybe I need to start doing this a lot more. Alright, so I have one more plot of 2 houses here, and then I'm going to be doing the 4 houses. But let me quickly go ahead and do these 2 houses, and then I'll check up in just a second. A quick little status update. These 2 are now fully built, and now I am ready to lock in on the 4 smaller houses right over here. I am very excited. Let's get to work. already I have returned. It is a little bit of a rainy day right now, but if we go through the town, you can see that every single build here has now been built up. And man, I absolutely love the way that this feels. The fact that there's like different roads to different buildings here and whatnot. I actually think that this might be one of my favorite town builds we've built just because of this reason here. Now, like I said earlier, we are going to be decorating all of the buildings for the live stream. So if you guys want to watch that, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell so that you guys don't miss when I stream. However, it is time that we put on a roof on this thing. Now, instead of doing a time lapse, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like time lapses, I'm just gonna show you guys what I'm gonna do for each of these roofs. We're gonna start off by doing we'll do this one. If we're gonna do one together, let's do the biggest house, which is this one right here. Now, the idea for this is we're basically, like I said, going to copy what we did down here. So as you can see, the theme that we did for this one is we did a layer of the mangrove stairs on the bottom. That way we get a little bit more of that red on the bottom. Then we're gonna go 2 layers of, this is where it's gonna change. Instead of doing, like I said, of those 2 there, we're gonna be using these 2 here. So we're gonna go from 1 layer here, then we're gonna go 1 and then just temporarily go like that, and then we're gonna slab it off on the top. That's going to be basically the plan. So we're gonna start off by wrapping around the bottom with this red mangrove wood. So with this layer done here, what we're going to do now is do a mixture of the deep slate tile stairs and the tough brick stairs, and then finally on this layer right here on the third, we are going to slab it off, and there we go. But we are not done, because as you can see on those houses, we do have lines of the mangrove stairs going up. So we're going to do that every few places. So we're going to start off by doing one here. I don't want to do the edge necessarily right here, so I think we'll do this one right here, and there we go. I really like that kind of chaotic but almost simple pattern that we have here for the roof. And then from the bottom, this is what it looks like. It's very unique in this house in particular because there's this weird little spot right here. Now basically this is what we're going to be doing for the entire area over here. I'm going to go ahead and quickly do that really quick. Man, I have quite a lot of work, but I'm so excited to see how it looks. Man, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, look at it from afar really quick. Oh my gosh, I love the way that that looks, honestly. So this is the completed village, I guess you could say. Well, we still have to do a lot of decorations. You might be able to see some of these firefly bushes. I have quite a lot of decorations in my inventory, but I'll get to that. I want to quickly talk to you guys about something that I actually found really interesting for some reason, and maybe I'm the only one. This area right here is really cool. I like how, because of how close these houses are, the roofs actually connect kind of to each other. But if we actually go above, so you can actually see that it kind of creates something a little bit interesting here. Now, in real life, this would probably be like a hazard, because if water did land on here, it would just collect here and eventually break. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about that in Minecraft. But I don't know why. I love the way that this just feels. Like, I don't know. I love how unique it is. Like, when you look at the entire village from the top, we do have actually these 2 houses. I think actually, yeah, I didn't even know that, honestly. But every single house here actually connects to each other at some point here. But these 4 here almost all connect to each other, and it honestly looks kind of cool. So yeah, that was just something that I found really cool. Now, the next thing that we're going to be doing is decorating the area. Now, what I actually want to start off by doing is we do have all of the stuff here to decorate with. However, I actually really want to make a bit of a waterfall going down over here. So what I'm thinking we do is I want to make the waterfall fall right there. As you can see, we do have a little spot here for it. So we're going to try to, I think if we break these, it should eventually go down there. I'm going to do this one just to be on the safe side, but we are going to do a little bit of a pond area here. We're going to go a little bit deep as well. Now that this layer is done, we can start the second layer right here, and hopefully we didn't mess it up. We did mess it up ever so slightly with this little section here. I can, however, just break all of this down, although I don't love how it goes off like that. So maybe we can try temporarily fixing it if we just kind of let the water, like if we kind of guide the water, I guess. And there we go, a small little waterfall here. I definitely like this. So with this small little pond here now done, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be decorating the area. So we have some firefly bushes, we have some leaf litters, we have the wildflowers, and we have some of the new bushes here that I really want to start decorating with. I would also like to do some normal bone mealing as well, just to get a little bit of some of that more natural Minecraft grass here. But for now, I want to start off by placing some of these around. Now I'm kind of just scattering these around, honestly. Now what I think I might end up going back and doing is I think I might in some of these double these up. Now I do want to place leaf litters down, but I also want to get a couple of trees in here as well for the leaf litter. So we're going to save those for later. And we are going to be putting some of these firefly bushes around. Now I don't know how well it's going to look if we bone meal the areas around this area to get like the normal grass, but let's go ahead and see. I've never done this before, so let's quickly see together. Okay, I don't actually mind that. I think it was a little bit easier to decorate as well because we could place these down. We didn't have to worry about like breaking the grass here and anything like that. Okay, that's not bad. From a distance, that doesn't look too bad as well, but it kind of looks a little bit weird without some trees. So we're going to add in some of these birch trees. And I think this is where I start to add in some of the leaf drops here because I think it makes more sense to have them around the trees than anywhere else. Okay, I do overall like this quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks really nice. And then from afar really quick, I think that does look a lot nicer. I think also part of it as well, we're looking at this only half done because we still have to do everything inside the actual village in here as well. I'm hoping that we can fit some trees here. I think we can fit a couple of trees here, so hopefully that works. Okay, really quick, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is replace all of these torches in the village with lanterns instead because I just prefer the way that these look. Alrighty, now that all of the lanterns are in place, we're gonna do exactly what we did before and start off by placing some of the firefly bush and the wildflowers and the normal bush as well, and then we're gonna kind of bone meal everything like we did. Oh man, I love the way that this looks so far. Now we have about halfway until the daytime. It's going down, so we have a little bit less than half. I want to try and get this done before nighttime because I want to see what it looks like with all the fireflies and whatnot. So what I want to start by doing really quick is adding just a couple more what are these called, trees here. I want to add a couple of these here. I don't think one can go here, unfortunately. I don't know if these could be like, can even grow here. Okay, so they can. Interesting. Okay, these trees are... They add a lot more than you think. So because of the trees with the little particles underneath them, and of course we're not getting any particles right now. Yeah, so with these like little leaf droplets here, I think it makes it just look a lot nicer. And then again, we can add some of these leaf litters if we wanted to around the trees. Let me know in the comments if I have a problem because I'm pretty sure every single time I build a town like this, I always say that it's been my favorite. Alrighty, let's start to head on up to the area up here. I love the way it looks as like the sun is still going down, but there's a little bit of the blue in the sky left and all the fireflies are coming out. And the way that we get the fireflies like chirping, I don't know what sound or what you would say that they make, but man, this is exactly what I wanted. I really like this area down here with the kind of covered things here, like the kind of back alleyway thing. I really like this area. I don't know why I like this area so much. Oh man, I am so incredibly happy that this entire village area is done. Let's get the final shot for the camera for you guys. Man, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think of this area? Because I really enjoy this area. I think, like I said, this is probably one of my favorite areas. If not, I know I say this for everyone, the mangrove wood is probably my favorite wood to use. It's a pain to get, don't get me wrong, but it's so much fun to mix and match different combos. So let me know in the comments, should I keep using the mangrove wood, the stripped red wood? Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think of this village right here? I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm loving this village so much. Oh, this is such a good place to end off today's video as. So thank you guys so much for watching today's episode of G1's Adventure. If you guys enjoyed, consider leaving a like, smashing that subscribe button, and of course, sharing this video with your friends and family. That is the best way to support. Again, thank you guys so much for 500 subscribers this past week, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode.